Brought to you by Gamezy. Win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Download the app now.
Mumbai Indians versus the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Even though it might feel like an inconsequential game, because let's face it, Mumbai are already out and SRH are virtually out. But yes, they do still have a chance. And for them to, have any sort of chance of making it to the playoffs, they really need a victory. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the budget buys first. By the way, the Mumbai Indians have been in decent form. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games, and a few key players I'm going to talk about among the budget buys are of course Tilak Varma, because you know that Tilak Varma has been one of the best emerging players probably this season. So Tilak Varma definitely a big pick. Another guy who has impressed me is Kumar Karthikeya. Ever since he was drafted into the 11, he has been among the wickets. Last game also he picked up a couple of wickets. So he's a good choice if you want to take, that left arm spinner among your budget buys. For Sunrisers Hyderabad, there are quite a few options as always. Abhishek Sharma has been one of their best performers, even though they have lost their last 5 games. But still, Abhishek remains a key part of their top order. And when he performs, they generally tend to do well, the Sunrisers. So Abhishek Sharma is there. There's T. Natarajan, who was expensive in the last game on his return to the playing 11. But we know what we get with T. Natarajan. That's wickets in the death overs. And I expect him to, because that last game he's coming back from a niggle, probably wasn't up to the mark. But this game I expect him to do much better. And that's why I'll also keep him in my playing 11. Then Umran Malik, after those 3 disappointing games, in the last match he picked up 3 wickets. Yet his side lost. But Umran Malik, 3 wickets by any bowler will give you a lot of points. So that's why I've also picked Umran Malik among my budget buys. Well, overseas options, I have to say, for Mumbai Indians, Daniel Sams picked up 3 wickets in the last game. So definitely he'll be playing. Riley Meredith was also among the wickets, and even though he was expensive in the games before that, they persisted with him, and I don't see both of them going out of the side in any way. So Sams will play. Riley Meredith, I expect to see him in the playing 11 as well. Apart from that, Tim David, ever since he has come into the 11, has been finishing games off well for them, will have his place in the 11. The only player that they got in the last game, the change of personnel, where they dropped Karen Pollard and they played Tristan Stubbs, by the way. And Stubbs, even though he got out for a duck, I still think Mumbai might give him another opportunity. He's still very young, was drafted into the side as a replacement for Timil Mills, and he was part of the squad for 2-3 games before he was drafted into the playing 11 finally. And well, I think he's going to get another opportunity for sure. Sunrisers. Well, I have to say, Sunrisers, the biggest problem has been their captain, Kane Williamson. I think among all the big batsmen in the IPL, is probably having the worst IPL of the lot, because he really hasn't fired at all this season with the bat. A lot of people expected him to probably score a lot more runs, but let's just face it, Williamson hasn't performed, hasn't been up to the mark. But because he's captain, he'll keep his place in the side. Aiden Markram will be there. Then, Nicholas Pooran is the wicket keeper. He'll be there. Marco Jansen did decently on his return to the playing 11. We're not sure whether he had a niggle before that, because the options they tried, Sean Abbott gave away 47 runs from his 4 overs, took a wicket. Fazlak Farooqi they tried in that next game after that. He also gave away 47 runs. And now they've gone back to Marco Jansen, and he bowled well in the last game. So I expect their overseas personnel to stay the same. Captaincy choices, I have to say, Surya Kumar Yadav would have been one, but he's not there. He's unfit, hasn't played the last couple of games. And yet I feel Jasprit Bumrah, because SRH's batting has also been iffy, is a very good pick. Because you have to look at a bowling option, and among the bowling options that Mumbai Indians have, who's the best of the lot? Jasprit Bumrah. Even though he only took that 5 wicket in one game and hasn't taken that many wickets apart from that this season, still the pedigree, the kind of quality Bumrah possesses, maybe he'll come to party once again. And that's why I'm looking at him. Yes, if you want, you can look at Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan. But for me, the batsmen just haven't been consistent enough for the Mumbai Indians, and that's been their biggest problem this season. Sunrisers Hyderabad, I always talk about 3 people here. Abhishek Sharma can be a choice. You know why? Rahul Tripathi, for me, in that batting lineup, is the best batsman, the most attacking batsman, the guy who can do most damage if he's firing. So Rahul Tripathi for me is a good choice, but I'm not sure whether you'll see a great innings because he started the IPL, very well. Those 5 games that they won, it was Abhishek Sharma and Rahul Tripathi both firing for them most of the times. But in the last 5 games, the 5 games they have lost Tripathi, except that 58 in one game, if I'm not wrong. Apart from that, he really hasn't done much. And another choice, as I always talk about, T. Natarajan, because Natarajan death overs has gone for a few runs in some games, but he does get you wickets, right? So I think Natarajan is a good choice. So in my fantasy 11, I have picked Abhishek Sharma. There's Rohit Sharma. Then Rahul Tripathi, Tilak Verma, Nicholas Puran is there. Then among the bowlers, because I've picked more bowlers than batsmen because of the way both sides have performed, I've gone with Daniel Sams, Jasprit Bumrah, Kumar Karthikeya is there, T. Natarajan is there, Umran Malik is there. And then I'm not too sure whether I'll go in with Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who has been economical, or somebody like a Riley Meredith. I'll decide on the day, after the toss, simply whether I'll go with Bhuvneshwar or Riley Meredith, or I might pick both of them in different teams accordingly. So that was it, guys. That was my fantasy 11. I hope you guys are making your teams on the Gamezy app, because you can win up to 5 crore rupees in daily prizes. So what are you waiting for? Please make sure you download the app through the description below, because lots of money can be yours. Thank you for watching.